What is going on, everybody? This is your boy Yakrates here to give you guys your review for The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 6, really quickly. I just did this damn video, um, and I'm doing it again. So, what you guys don't know is I literally had to do a full system restore on this computer, wiping everything. So, I obviously use OBS to do my videos. Wasn't even paying attention to the audio mixer where it goes up and down, given the audio. Wasn't paying attention, so so the video was being recorded, there was no audio. So I have to do it again. Great. So here we go. um so we pick up where we left off, where we have Socknick saying, I want Ray to live, I want Ray to pay his bills. Well, we want Jamal to pay his bills and his taxes. We still wonder where Robin is with I'm sorry. Sorry. We want collection plate to pay his taxes, and we wonder where Doobie Wig's taxes, like what's the status on that. But we're not gonna talk about that. Wendy says to Karen, based off of what you said, in my opinion, that isn't wishing death. Couple things. One, Wendy, say the fuck out of it. Two, I do agree. And then three, even though Karen is full of shit, if this is how somebody feels, you can't tell somebody how to feel. You really can. You can say, from my, obviously from my perspective, it doesn't look this way, but if that's what that person feels, that's their reality. You can't change that. Doobie Wig jumps in because, again, she has nothing to talk about, and this is the game of reality television, to where they get paid per episode. Some of them just get a full salary. I think Bravo has gotten to where they pay you per episode, because that was a thing with Nene Leakes. So paid per episode. So if you're not contributing anything, you're not getting paid for that episode, even though you were there. And she says to Karen, it's like, if you say that to Mia, well, now Mia's going to have this perception of Giselle that isn't true. Now, you are playing a gymnastic game right now, and that's not fair to Karen. And this also lets you know that, okay, well, Mia is getting real close to those two, which it'll come back to bite you. Obviously, uh, Giselle is considered the Nene Leakes of this show, so you want to get in good with that person, because a lot of people don't want to be like Claudia, which I feel Claudia should have got a second season along with Shamari, but coming in gunning for the HBIC, and then you don't come back because you hurt the HBIC's feelings. So Posting Note jumps in and says, you both have done things to each other. She says, Karen, the things that you are bringing up are old. Facts. Though it's been literally just, it's been a snowball effect of shit that's been said. But I wish Karen would have either said, given the totality of the bullshit that you said about me and my family, I ain't fucking with you, or pick something from last season. Simple. Then she says to Sotnick, you've said some shitty things, and she's like, that I've apologized for. Some of the shit you, okay, I'll get to that. Actually, I'm gonna talk about that now. So, what needs to be understood is, just because you apologize doesn't mean that that person accepts it, and it doesn't make it go away. And people have to understand that when you do things to people, because I'm talking to somebody here, when you do things to people, it leaves a scar. Now, even if the scar heals, this, that, and the third, the scar is still visible. And it's supposed to be a reminder of what was done, so you don't let it happen again. Like right here. Try to get it into. There it is. This right here is my smallpox vaccine scar. Most people don't get a scar like that. I happen to get one. That is always going to be a physical reminder. That's what that is. So when people do things to other people, it leaves a scar, and it's supposed to be that reminder that this happened. And you can forgive the person, but never let what happened with this scar happen again. But one thing that a lot of us tend to do is we'll have a nice deep wound, And rather than take the time to clean it out, and cleaning it out means talk out what needs to be talked out, reconcile what needs to be reconciled. If you need to go to therapy, which means that you have to go in, you have to clean everything out, peroxide, and allow, with some antibacterial ointment and let that thing naturally heal. No, what we do is we just put a band aid over it. So now there's scar tissue and all this other stuff. So when you finally decide that years later that you want to deal with it, now you have to cut into it, remove the scar tissue, which probably cause even more damage, to let the healing start. Now, speaking to somebody, and here's another thing. One thing that y'all need to remember, because people get this fucked up. Even if you changed over the years, if in the past you were shitty to somebody, you can't be mad when they tell their story, because they gonna tell the story of where you were then. It don't matter what the fuck you is now, and y'all have to keep that shit in mind when you are dealing with people, because when they get to tell their story, you can't tell them that they can't tell that story, because they're going to. And that person that you was is gonna be the person that is brought out. And again, you may have changed, but it is what it is. So again, I gave y'all a whole lot there. Take from it what you need to, throw the rest away. So then, Post a note says to them that they need to take the time to listen to each other because they're talking over each other. And also, they need to work this out away from the group. Well, I wish you would have taken that your own advice last year. Maybe it's because you've grown, but had this happened with you and Monique, we wouldn't be here. And again, Monique was foul how she started out the season because she was trying to, for the most part, ice out Candace, but that blew up in her face. But still, communication is key, and it just wasn't happening. Uh, so they're done with all of that. Giselle makes a comment about the cottage being lower quarters. Keep that in mind because we're going to revisit this. Because why are you bringing that up? The cottage, to me, I don't really like it. Whether it's a no go or go, I really don't care. Like I said, I'm a very, very basic guy. I really am. The way that I dress and how, like, the only time I get complicated is when I'm in the kitchen. And even still, I get complicated to the point where shit still looks simple. But, like, all the other shit, I don't fucking care about. And unless the place that I'm going to rest my head is a place that I'm going to be for the majority of whatever trip I'm on, all that room needs to be is a place for me to lay my head. All I need is a place to lay my head where I can close the door to recharge because I'm not a social person, though I can be when I need to, and a place to wash my ass. That's it. I don't need nothing else. That's all I need. Anyway, the luggage is so in the cottage you have Wendy trying to bring up her luggage. And it's funny that there is a male to help the woman in the other house, but not this house. Catch that. But Karen tries to help her, and then she said, "Okay, well, let's get to Scala." And it wasn't done intentionally, but the shit was still funny. Then I think she even called her Tesla. I'm like, you know what, Karen? That was funny. So now we got Stewie Darby. I'm sorry, we got Hey Arnold doing a photo shoot. Dean is not featuring the photographer. He looked at her like, girl, if you don't back the fuck up, do you not see me reading my truck book? I'm reading my truck book because I'm about to sit here and buy some farming land so we can sit here and get some farming going on. I need to know which one of these motherfuckers to buy. Get the fuck out my face. That's what he was telling them. So we find out that Dylon has jaundice. I think he still has it, but is pretty much done with it. And Hey Arnold even said that normally you keep the baby in the hospital, but they did some like therapy at home. So nice to know that Dylon is doing good. Praise God. Hey Arnold tells Gargamel that she's going to join the ladies for one day. Gargamel asks, "What about Juan? Is he getting married?" And when he finds out no, regardless of the reason, he's like, "I tried to told you, but y'all didn't want to listen." All right. So in the main house, something that I caught is Karen was talking with a scholar, and she happened to be drinking a sugar-free Red Bull. Karen letting y'all know y'all not finna catch her slipping, and I understand it because you got fucked up one good time, happened to be on camera, Had the women not brought it up, that footage probably would have never aired. But because it did, it's just like she's like, y'all not finna. It's not finna happen again. And I understand it. Just little shit you got to catch. Sockneck and Doobie Wig. Their Sockneck brings. So they're talking. I'm sorry. And Sockneck brings up that she wonders if Wendy likes the servant quarters. So this then went from lower quarters, now it's servant quarters. We gonna come back to that. So then they start talking about Wendy, and what you see in a separate scene while this is being done, simultaneously is Karen, Wendy, and I believe it was a scholar left out, I guess, to get in the vehicle, but they came back in. I guess production told them to come back in because of the conversation that was going on upstairs. And then Wendy just so happens to go upstairs in the midst of them talking about her. But before we get to that, they're talking about how something is off with her. This is not the Wendy they first met. And when they start talking about the rumor is when Wendy comes in. Production set that shit up. They obviously did not want to have that conversation because they were just stuck like, oh shit, oh shit. So a scholar joins them and Sotnik asks if she feels she's in the servant quarters. Second time this has come up. Now, again, for those who don't want to see it, but this is some colorist shit. Where you have a light skinned woman sitting here saying, first off, if Wendy, who is Nigerian American, is in servant quarters, some real slavery shit. And now you just ask the Ethiopian American woman if she feels that she's in servant quarters. Fuck you, Giselle. Um, so all the girls are downstairs. Candace has gifts for them. They get robes. They also get a oversized swimming cap because Sockneck is going to lead aerobics the next day, which also is going to be in the next episode. So now they have dinner. Candace talks about gender roles and how her husband pushes her. In this moment, we actually get Giselle, not Sockneck. And what I mean by that is, like, think about Real Housewives of Atlanta, where in more recent seasons, Nene Leakes has been a caricature of herself. But there was a moment when she was talking to Portia, I forget what season, they were in, might have been on the trip or whatever, and you got a real moment where you felt like, okay, this is no longer the Nene Leakes, but Lanithia, where she was actually coming to her and talking to her on a real tip, and we don't get that from Nene often. But that's her being, I like to believe, her authentic self. In this moment, I really feel like we were getting a very authentic Giselle for a moment. Because she asked her, do you pay him? And Candace is like, well, in love and affection. And I think she was trying to save you, us because if he is now your manager and you not paying him and he decide that he wants a divorce, and I don't think there's a prenuptial agreement, there might be, y'all let me know. But he could come for you in that realm because you're not paying him. And then you saying that he has to push you and all this other stuff, you are building his case. You really are. And given the fact there's going to be some tension between them later on this season, I don't know. She even mentions how she'll be in the studio first thing in the morning, and then come 10 o'clock p.m. he wants her to work, and she's like, I say skirt. But if you're in the entertainment industry, period, there's no such thing. Like, you are always grinding, and especially for a lot of artists, a lot of them sleep in the fucking studio, and some of them probably get maybe like 2 or 3 hours, and they're back in there because shit has to get done, and it's always moving like this. So my question is, are you really dedicated to your craft? And I also want to know what the fuck is going on with your hair business. Did your hair business help you out by this house? Is your hair business, is that helping to fund your music career? Anyway, Sockneck says she doesn't. I'm sorry. Giselle says to her she doesn't want her to resent her husband for not hustling like she's hustling, and feels that he may be riding her coattail. And I will have to agree, and that doesn't happen often. And then Robin has to, use that to put herself into it to now talk about her situation, her depression, and not getting, and her saying that one saying her not getting up is not attractive. Now, this is when Giselle turns back into sock neck. Excuse me. And as if one doesn't want to rush down the aisle because of this issue, and says that no man wants to marry unattractive, and as if she's neglecting her kids, Doobie Wig says yes, and even says that Corey, her son, came home with a 48 in English when last year he had straight A's. Now, the first thing is, again, sock neck ain't shit, because for this to be your friend and you literally drag her like this, not necessarily on camera, which probably wouldn't did it on camera, but this should have been a conversation that you have separately away from these women if this is truly your friend, because you literally read down on her, and that was horrible. I don't agree with that. But at the same exact time, Doobie Wig, you're fucking retarded, because I would never admit on camera that I neglect my children. I would never fucking admit that. And here's the other thing. So for the money you have from flipping house, first and foremost, we still ain't heard shit about your tax situation, right? But you were flipping houses. You're building a new house and then you're trying to get married. But what's going on with your taxes? And at the same exact time, with the money that you get from Bravo, the money that your husband, I'm sorry, your fiance gets from doing his coaching thing, y'all have enough money to get a tutor to make sure that this doesn't happen. So all of this other frivolous shit that you are putting ahead of your child's education, you a new fool if I ever fucking seen one. Anyway, Socknet mentions there's a difference with Wendy. Doobie says that her personality is different. Socknet says, I've seen more of your body in the last month than I've had the entire time I've known you. Doobie says, she's been more drop it like it's hot lately. The Wendy last year wasn't loose. First, the fuck form. See, Wendy, you better than me. Because I'm going to keep it 1,000. I let a lot of shit slide. What the fuck you not gonna call me loose? You not. And see, Wendy, you ain't handling this right. You didn't. You didn't. Because here's the reality. When it comes to these type of like reality shows and whatnot, you don't have to talk about what you don't want to talk about, and you can always deflect. You can always deflect because something next saying, "Oh, I've seen more of your body in the last month than I have in the last year." I would have been like, "And your point is?" You're going to continue to see it. You're going to continue to see Happy and Ness. Okay, and if you don't like it, you can kiss both of my butt cheeks because it ain't nothing changing over here. Absolutely nothing. And then for Dewey to say, you're more dropping like it's hot and you're more loose. First and foremost, that's objective. And secondly, you're just mad because you can't drop it like it's hot. You're mad because if you or your sister wife over there sit here and drop it like it's hot, you gonna need a crane to pick your ass back up. See, again, I would have handled they ass so mother. See, I'm just saying. Anyway, let me get back to my notes because I will go off on a tangent on y'all asses. So, posting on in her confessional is saying that she doesn't know why they're badgering her. My thing is, why did you not? Why didn't you say that at the table? But the reason you didn't say it at the table is because you're still trying to be neutral with them because you understand the whole power struggle and where you lie because you don't want to see. Because I said last on for last season, Candace is going to be the target for this season, and I was wrong. It's going to be Wendy, but Candace is trying not to be the target. So, okay. So, Sockneck says that Wendy is different from Professor and Substance Wendy. See, that shit was loaded as fuck. Ooh, excuse me. Wendy feels that women are put into a box where they can't be sexy. And the reality is, women have been put into a box. This has been going on for centuries. For centuries, to where it has been dictated by men because this is a patriarchal society, more or less in America. Well, now, not even America, because there's other places in the world where everything dealing with a woman's body is dictated by a man. So, all that being said, it's understood. You have Mia saying that, well, with that, you wouldn't see Michelle Obama or Oprah dressed like that. You have to embody that, pretty much saying that because you have this particular title as a professor, as a commentator, there is a certain way that you have to dress. That right there is subjective. But at the same exact time, Mia, the way you dress, is that really, conducive to you being a businesswoman, quote unquote? And to sit here and tear another woman down like that, and it's like you're looking for a moment, Mia. Now, I'm not even going there. Not going there. Let me finish my review so I can get done. Wendy says using the word substance is triggering because she has all of these different accolades, and that doesn't take away from. And here's the other part: this is a fucking girls' trip. Because Wendy had posted pictures from last year while she was shooting, where she was showing off a little bit. But again, this is a girls' trip. Who the fuck cares? Y'all on vacation. Who the fuck cares? But again, Wendy, this is when you sit here and you just go on the attack with them, because if you notice that you're being attacked, all you had to do was just turn that shit around and start asking Doobie Wig about the marriage. Or better yet, wait, did we already talk about it? Hold on. Cause I would have got Robin ass all the way the fuck together, been like, Robin, ma'am, you're concerned about the wrong thing right now. Cause why are you so concerned about my body? Didn't you just say your son came home with a 48 in English? How about you worry about educating your child rather than sitting here worried about what the fuck I'm wearing? How about you hire a tutor rather than worry about what the fuck I'm wearing? Like, I would have went there. Wendy, you gotta get better, baby. So Sockneck says you were sexy last year. Wordplay. Don't like it. Wendy says, I define my sexiness, not you. I'm comfortable in my skin. Sockneck says, so you weren't comfortable last year? And Wendy's just like, a woman that is 2 months postpartum is not going to find themselves sexy. Sockneck says the other reason she brought it up is because of how she came at me, because it was different than last year. And I guess she did this because she knew she wasn't winning. But I'm sorry, that's a lie, because Wendy popped the fuck off for no fucking reason last season, and at the reunion got mad because people were DMing her, calling her an angry black woman. So lies. So Ascala wants to ask a question to Socknet because about her significant other, since we're asking questions, and everybody looking like because nobody does that to Giselle. So that's why everybody's like, well, what the fuck? Sockneck says she will not discuss this in front of trolls, but can discuss it separately. Wendy says that's not fair because you literally just grilled me, but can't nobody grill you. But again, Wendy, you let them grill you. You didn't have to let that happen. Karen says, don't speak of me as a lie. Your whole life is a lie. You go deep into everyone's life, but get defensive and then attack when someone talks about you. And she even says, I live rent free in your mind. I know that's right. I know it is. So Doobie says to Wendy that you were beautiful before, and I don't want the changes, to define who you are. And again, it's just like the whole you were beautiful before, implying that she's not beautiful now, but whatever. Wendy says she's going to have to start wearing sweaters around them since this is such an issue. So the next day, Post-it note is practicing for her video shoot. Mia's talking with her family and realizing that she may need to pull it back in terms of working because she doesn't want her children to get older and resent her for how much she was working. But at the same exact time, never mind, not going down that road today. So we end with Karen and Wendy having a conversation. Karen notices that Wendy's a hell of a lot more covered up now. She said, if you are covered up because of sock neck, you need to take your ass back in there and change. But she says that I'm only dressed like this for brunch. I have a change of clothes in my bag over here because they're going to the pool. And then Karen also says she did not deserve that line of questioning. Wendy says it hurt because someone she saw as a sister saying that last year you had substance and this year you don't, it hurt. And the only reason that she considered her sisters is because of the fact that they are sorors. I can't really say that word right, but y'all know what I mean. And it's like that sometimes when there's something that you and a person connect with. It's a connection, but the connection can't truly just be based off of that. There needs to be layers there. No layers were built. But the reason that she's coming for you is because you told Robin to shut the fuck up and stay out of the business when they was at your house. That's why she coming for you, because you going against the grain. And Karen tells her, if you need to cry, you cry right now. Do not give her this. Do not give her this satisfaction. Do it here. Don't do it in front of her. And I love that. Where it's just like, look, you can cry in front of me. Cool. Don't do it in front of the hoes out there. Because even Doobie would mention that when she was talking to Sockneck, that Wendy has this exterior, but I'm pretty sure what we just said is eating at her, which it is. But Karen is saying, you need to show a strong face. Don't give them this right here. And even says only insecure women tear other women down. I would have to agree. So that is my review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to, again, now that I didn't really talk about this, but my office is kind of back where it needs to be, but I've been gone for a while because I was trying to get shit done, dealing with this computer, blah, 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 whatever. So you'll definitely be getting this review. You might get Beverly Hills. I'm not sure. And I'm not even sure about what Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like, I watched the shows, but yeah, we'll see. But you will be getting this. Also, you can catch me tonight on Scotty by Nature TV's channel for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. Um, you might catch me on Really Be TV's channel Thursday to talk about the Beverly Hills Housewives. And I'm working on revamping my trending topics show. So, not there yet, but we'll get there. So, that's all that I have. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And yeah, see y'all tonight. Peace.